Hello, everyone. Man, this is a lot of speed. Like, I could go whoop and whoop. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Leon Wolf, but you could call me Leon for short. And this is gonna be another draw ramble video. This is my second take. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to making these videos. But I hope you guys all enjoy. Gonna get to learn a lot more of Professor's lore and a little bit more of what myths have truth is about. So hope you're all excited for that. And tomorrow will come out Addie's video, or Addie's version of a ramble draw. And then, although we didn't hit 40, we did, but then we lost one, which that's okay. Which, thank you all again for 39 subscribers. Woo! I'm probably still gonna make the Minecraft video, just because we did at least hit it, so I feel like it's fair that we still do it. So, hope you all enjoy. Sit back, relax, grab some snacks, water, stay hydrated all. Summer is very hot this time around. And yeah, just enjoy. Alrighty. So, before we get into the story of the professor, let me introduce you what inspired this book series and the professor to even exist. So, meet the book City of Beasts by Isabel Allende. Allende. Apologies if I pronounced that wrong, but this is the main reason for the book series. It's part of a trilogy series, so we have the City of Beasts, the Forest of Primes. Apologies for my reading, everybody. And the Kingdom of the Golden Dragon. These are absolutely wonderful books. You should read them. They're very interesting. So it goes by this order. And they are available in both English and Spanish. So you should try to read them. And basically it goes over, or at least this book goes over a young boy named Alexander Cold, or Alex for short, and he goes on a quest with his fearless grandmother, who is I believe it says it here. She is I believe they say in the book she's a explorer, I believe, if I remember correctly, along with other characters that join on this mission of finding the legendary Yeti of the Amazon, or the Beast, aka the title, the City of Beasts. It's a pretty interesting story, and it inspired mine, mainly because I love how it goes of these people going on an adventure to find myths or to figure out if what they're going on is actually real or not. So it kind of inspired that. And then the grandma, who I love as the character, she is the inspiration for the professor. So I recommend check out these books, English and in Spanish, and yeah. Now to get to the man himself. So this was my old drawing of the professor. As you can see, the professor is very common of wearing a cap hat. He has a beard. He has a scars over his eyes. He wears very formal yet kind of old outfits. So he has his coat, collar shirt, you know. And his desk is surrounded by papers, photos, logs, newspapers, all of that. Oh, and if you're wondering who's this is Axel trying to call the professor over. And then a little note that for you guys to know, he has a cane because here he will say he was always beat Alex with a cane. No, he's not abusive, not like that. He just likes to do like a slight little bonk on the head. So something like this. But with a cane. That's more inspired by cartoons that I have watched over my years. So this is the old one. Now to show you the new one. Ba-ba-ba-ba. This is my professor over the years. And this one is a special drawing because this is the first time I ever done a perspective one. I really wanted to have him look like he's actually in an office this time, make it feel more real and such. And so here is the professor. And now we're just gonna go over and basically talk about him. So there's a lot of things to know about the professor. But for now, we're gonna go over what is his main role of the story. His main purpose, his secrets, you could say. I won't spoil all of them because if I did, the professor is going to beat me with his cane himself. So, if you haven't noticed, this whole story of myths have truth, it basically goes over a lot of myths and secrets. So, I wanted to create a character that will have a big role in it, but yet you still will need to question the man or question the person. That's basically the professor's role. He is the one that helps the characters navigate through the book or throughout the series of their quests, their adventures. But the more that you read, the more that you notice things that seem strange. Such as, for example, one of the things that I love that some people do within their books or their mainly TV shows is that you always have a character that seems to be poor, but yet he always has the resources, expensive or not, and keyword expensive here, to have the materials needed. So in one of the cases for this book, for example, where did they get the submarine? It was from him. Where did he get it? Nobody knows. And so far, the group hasn't questioned it yet, but probably you, the soon to be reader, or the more investigator, I should say, would be questioning that. You would be wondering, well, wait, where did he get this from? Why is there why? Just why? How? Well, for those of you that joined here, you are gonna be let in the first little secret. And I'm gonna share you a big important note of his past. You see, the professor has always been exploring ever since he was a child. Reasons why he's been exploring since he was a child? That cannot be told. But what I can say is that his explorations had led him to certain groups that changed his life forever. What do I mean by this? I mean that his life has never stayed the same since after these explorations. And the biggest thing to remember is that something the professor has learned throughout his years, some secrets are meant to stay secrets. What do I mean by this? I mean, he has discovered things that no man or woman or child should ever learn about in his life, or ever in years to pass. So, the reason why he goes on these adventures is to make sure these secrets are kept well, that they are locked and kept, and nobody, and I mean nobody, finds out the truth about the myths, about what he or this organization was doing. So then you may be wondering, how am I writing the story here if the professor doesn't want anyone to know? Well, that, my dear viewers, is because he later learns that sometimes there are secrets you have to tell. There are gonna be risks into saying it. But what's worse? Telling a secret that is gonna maybe get people harmed, or holding it to continue the risk of yourself and the people you love. That's the fact he had to face with. And so he doesn't like that I am creating this book. I mean, he will rather that this whole thing stays a secret. But in truth, he needs our help. He needs our help of keeping the secret to ourselves. And besides, creating it as a book, nobody's gonna know if it's real or not. Only the ones who truly believe it will know. But the ones that don't, they'll just move on with their day. There's only one thing that you have to follow, though. Once you jump into this world, there is no going back. There is no going back to the way that you feel. Once you learn the truth of the myths, the truth of him, of us, of our world, you will never see anything as it was before. So, what he did with his students, that I'm gonna do with you guys, you must vow to never reveal the secrets. But you must never forget about what secrets hold. That the line between black and white, truth and lie, always countercross with each other. There is no right or wrong. Not here. When you're in here, you have to be in the gray. You have to see everything in every detail, in every different perspective. And that's something the professor wants all of you to do. But he isn't certain about it. So, all of you need to help show him that you can do it. That you are willing to know more, to help us, to help him with the life that he has to live with, to endure. So, will you take this risk? Or are you gonna reveal it to the wrong people? But yeah, that is basically the main idea of this character. Basically, he goes on adventures with his students, finding things that may be real or not. And throughout the books, you, the viewer, and the students are trying to figure out, what does all of this mean now? How can we protect the myths? Who exactly is the professor? How does he know about these things? And more importantly, who else knows about this? Because the thing that the students don't know, but we do as the readers, is that this isn't the first time the professor has went on mission. He's been going on missions for a very long time. But for some reason, he stopped it until he found these kids. So here's a question for you guys to ponder on. Who, what, why, and how did the professor not continue missions until these kids got into his life? And then some of you are probably gonna wonder, are any of my characters actually based on real people? A few of them are. The professor is not one of them, unfortunately. He is part of my own original characters that I made with Reaper. Oh, and if you're wondering, why haven't I continued the video of Reaper? It's because I'm still trying to figure out what to talk about the characters. Like, it's easier to talk about a character when you have an entire story or an entire idea of who they are, what their tale is. Also, so sorry that the hands look weird. I'm still not good at making hands. But it's still a weird concept. For this character, I have been creating his story for years. Versus Reapers, where I am still trying to figure out who is he. But don't worry, I'm probably later gonna try to make a video to continue him. Because I take a little bit too long trying to figure out how I wanna make these stories or these videos. But yeah. But yeah, so I think we're gonna have to do a part 2 of this character. Because, well, there's still a couple things to go over with them. And plus, I have another video to start recording. Hooray! But I am so glad you guys decided to join. And I hope this got you even more excited to learn a little bit more about this world I created, about these characters. So, here's the professor with finally hands, not super great ones, but there's something. So, I'll see you tomorrow for the Addy video and on the weekend for the Minecraft one. And I decided it's gonna be survival. I'm not doing hardcore yet until we can beat the game in survival world. And then we'll see if we can do something with that. So, I believe that is it. Alrighty. Hello. Just want to ask, if you want to see me and Snowlo take over the channel, hit like and subscribe. Because we will absolutely do it. Bye now.